Hey guys, welcome. We are getting together here to talk about the 5 challenges that we're seeing coming into 2026, not only from a marketing perspective, but from an operational perspective, and the things that we're doing at Heavenly Greens and our portfolio companies that we manage, as well as our AGM clients, just to get together with this deck here leading into 2026. We're a little early, but there's been so much happening in the industry in the last 6 months that we actually waited to get some of this content in place and waited for the platform to kind of catch up to what we needed to talk about. So that's kind of the framework for today's talk. Andrew, do you want to offer anything to that, or did I just put you on the spot? Who knows?
Hey everyone. Okay, so no, that's pretty much sums up what we're going to be talking about. Obviously, it's been I think almost a year since we've done our last video update.
8 months, I think.
8 months, shame on us. But like Troy said, we've had so much going on with the platform developing to get it to where we actually want it to be, and it is now. And there's some really other cool things coming along. But we're not waiting anymore. It's getting into the slow season for turf, so we think this is a great time now to get this out to you guys so you can start implementing and deploying everything we've got so that come busy season next year again, this is gonna be fun, and you'll actually be able to benefit from these things you get to implement. So
yeah, there's two audiences here, right? There's the current AGM subscriber audience that's going to hear about this stuff. They have access to AGM. And then, of course, folks that are not AGM subscribers, we're talking about what you need to be doing and thinking about for next year, as well as some real tools, some other ways to do the things that we're going to show you, even if you're not a subscriber. So with that, let's get into it. You want to pull the slides up?
Yep, let's get it going. Okay.
All right, so great. Here are the really the top 5 challenges that I see coming into 2026 that every single small business in or out of the artificial turf industry is going to be dealing with if you are in the service business or the service space. The reality is that everything you thought you knew is getting disrupted. And if I just took a step back and thought about what's happened just over the last 2 years, and I look at it from a 3-year window, massive changes just in 2 years. But now 3 years ago was just the introduction of ChatGPT. And now look at us today on what's happening with AI and the massive changes. So looking at this deck here, it's talk about just a tsunami of technological advancement. Gosh, try to say that 3 times fast. Massive consumer changes on how companies are being found and how consumers interact with the web. And then the markets are getting hyper competitive. We're starting to see new franchises coming in, new manufacturers creating franchise opportunities. So lots of changes. And here's the kind of the good news and all of this crazy stuff I'm going to talk about. It's kind of coming back to basics. I know in this world of disruption, if you are focusing on the basics and really just making sure that you're taking care of your leads and taking care of your customers and doing the best you can in that framework, this disruption is going to actually be a blessing because the things we're going to share with you today, you can take advantage of. All right, so here they are. This is, by the way, just last year, this AI image would not have looked this good. Really shocking to see what's happening. So here we go. Let's get into it. So the number one change right now that everybody needs to be aware of is kind of what the industry is feeling. As a provider of services into the industry, we get to talk to a lot of key players, multiple manufacturers, as well as installers across the country. And it is kind of a crisis of lead generation. Everybody's feeling the pinch. 2 things are happening simultaneously. It's slowing down. We're all sort of experiencing what the markets are now as opposed to what they used to be back in 2020, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Even 24, I believe, was kind of on its way back down to reality. We are now for sure back in kind of business as usual from a quarter to quarter to quarter business, at least us in Northern California. And the biggest challenge we're having is less leads. And why that is happening is how consumers are actually interacting with what used to be a research-driven model. Artificial grass, typically desktop-driven research is really how we got our leads, either top, middle, or bottom of the funnel. But today, everything's coming from a question, and the users are using ChatGPT and other platforms to do that. And I don't know if you can see the details on this slide. It's kind of small, but essentially ChatGPT is mainly being used for information-based searches just to get specific questions answered. And when you look at some of this data we're going to be sharing with you, you're going to have to reposition how folks find you in this new world. It says here, new AI search platforms are reshaping how consumers find local businesses. So capturing and converting is getting more difficult. When we move on to this next slide, we're talking about AI search versus traditional search. The number of the volume in terms of what's happening with traditional searches, Google is still commanding the lion's share. However, you're starting to look over on the right on these two images. There is B2B and B2C. The conversation that's happening with AI search is more immediate, and folks are looking to get very specific questions answered. I have an example there. How much is it to get artificial grass installed in San Francisco? Very specific question. And what's happening is the results are coming up, and you're going to see that how AI is presenting the answer, which is much different than what it used to be. Also, on this point, AI is bringing people closer to the decision space. So in other words, people used to do research. Now they're asking questions on how to get something done. So that's a big shift as well. Also, I see a little change up in the asterisk on what GEO and AIO stand for: generative engine optimization, and then AI is AI overviews. Here's an example of what's happening in our market. The market is shifting from blog content that people want to read to AI mode. And AI mode is a very specific question. So I asked what's a top Bay Area artificial turf company? And the answer over on the right-hand side was presented for me. I didn't see any more blue links. I was just presented with the content. A couple of different signals that are happening on this image is the number of reviews. Those are being presented as well. And that screen on the right, you're seeing a little blue check mark. That's now available. I didn't see that 3 days ago. I don't know how long it's been there. But now if you click that, you can actually dig deeper into that business with a very simple dialog box that opens up, so you can ask anything about that specific business. And as you're going to see that, well, that's happens to be Heavenly Greens, one of our businesses, happens to be a way to drill down into that company a lot further than you can even imagine. Went a little fast, went over that screenshot on the left. Google AI mode. If you go and search, go to a Google window now, you will see that button over on the right. Soon, that button's going to be gone, and everything is going to be turned on to AI mode. That's coming later this year. Something to also think about as you look at how leads are coming into the system is you have to do things now. You're going to see a little theme here, what you can do now. So every single business has got to manage how they treat every single lead, because how leads are coming in are so different. And not so much different, but from the perspective as when a lead comes in, you can't really let those leads go anywhere. You've got to make it easy for folks to answer questions. Consider adding a chatbot to your website. You've got to learn how to nurture leads. This is kind of typically over a period of time, however long your sales cycle is. Out in Heavenly Greens, Northern California, the sales cycle is actually kind of up to a year. I see that changing, but it is getting longer as people get into the industry, find out about the costs, and then maybe step back out because they might have been shocked over price. But you have to have a lead nurturing system in place. You have to have instant engagement, whether that is a chatbot or a way for folks to get information. And not every single lead is going to be ready for an appointment. If you start looking at your data on your website, I know Some folks just look at Google Analytics. Some folks don't have it set up as deeply as you can. But if you start looking at your conversion data, when someone fills out a web form, you're going to notice that that number's gone down. People are less willing to fill out a form because now they can get information a lot easier. And then those folks that are not ready, you want to be following up with them so you can get a seat at the table when it comes time to get a bid out. This image over on the right is kind of interesting. This is showing the categories of how leads come into the system, and email is still 11 times better than these other ad outlets is what we're referring to them. Looks like I'm missing a source on this. That's from MP Digital. Also, Heavenly Greens is working directly with MP Digital, which is Neil Patel Digital. Moving along here, our solution helps with that. Heavenly Greens is using AGM, and we'll get into a little bit more of that, but it allows us to really bolt on the front end of being able to have an engagement directly in real time so that people can ask questions with our chatbot that's automated, obviously, with AI. We also have automated smart follow-up when people opt in, even with SMS or texting, they're automatically added to a nurturing sequence. And then finally, we have unified dashboards so we can track all of this stuff and we can pay attention to web forms, phone calls, SMS, DMs directly from social media, whether that's Instagram or Facebook. And then down towards the bottom here, industry data reveals a major follow-up problem. Think about yourself running your own business. How well is your follow-up system? It needs to be on game going into 2026. 85% of businesses never try again if they, or I guess nobody follows up. 85% of these businesses don't have follow-up systems in place and miss a lot of opportunity.
And just something on that, Troy, is a few years ago, if you recall, we did a kind of a cold call test for a manufacturer's conference. And I think there were going to be 20, let's just make a nice even number, 20 dealers there. And we cold called all 20 dealers, and Heavenly Greens was one of them as well. And we also went on their websites and submitted forms. So we did 2 tests, and over half those dealers never even answered their phone. We never got a call back or anything. So that was already, it was a test, but they didn't know that. So there was that. And then even when we submitted forms on a website, almost half of them didn't have any follow-up or acknowledgement we'd even submitted a form. Now, this was, I think, 3 years ago. There has obviously been, developments, people, but there's a lot of those companies probably are still the same way. I could almost guarantee that. So this is a really simple, AGM's a really simple way to even just solve those 2 simple things. Getting your phone calls answered and getting forms acknowledged, that will set you apart from most of your competition alone. So,
yeah, and further on to your point, Andrew, with the technology we even had 3 years ago, which is missed call text back. Heavenly Greens uses that as well. If someone calls into our office, and we do have a call center, but we also have an AI front end if it's an after hours. But if someone calls, the system pings the call center and they call them back. So if we do miss a call, we're aware of it and the callbacks are made.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 2, this is another challenge. Reviews and reputation are going to mean even more than they had in the past. Everybody knows this. You're going to go and look at a company's reviews before you make a decision to even call them or maybe even have a meeting with them. But at the end of the day, when you scroll back up a moment ago, you'll see that leading the results for that AI overview result where Heavenly Greens was leading is because we had the most reviews out of that group. So reviews and reputation are going to be very, very important. And then I didn't quote this last fictitious business owner, but the question is, if I'm a business owner, how can I build trust? How can I build real trust and make sure my business stands out online? This is the easiest way, is to get reviews and manage your reputation, whether that is Google business page level, Yelp, whatever. Everyone hates Yelp, but you've got to engage with your reviews. And there's a couple interesting stats down here. The second bullet, only 5% of businesses consistently respond to online reviews. A full 95% ignore them completely. We have folks we work with, folks we don't work with that come to us, and that's the first thing we look at. And oftentimes it's the reviews are not followed up on. 87% of businesses do not address negative reviews at all. Hey, none of us like getting negative reviews, but at the end of the day, if you are not facing your problems head first online, it's going to look like you are sort of a business that doesn't care, and it's really going to hurt you in the long run. We have personally experienced that. I have a business partner, Tim Fullerton, and I own Heavenly Greens and Artificial Turf Express, a retail business and an installation business. And he's constantly dealing with customers directly if there's an issue and if there's something online, and we dive in head first. Here's what we've always found. We found this to be 100% true. The customers appreciate it. They appreciate the fact that we picked the phone up or we replied to a review and tried to get communication with the customer. Ignoring is the worst thing you can do. And then finally, actively responding is rare. Only about 12% of businesses manage and respond to most of their reviews, which is why we have to automate this, and you need to automate this. And that's what Heavenly Greens has done for a number of years now, and it's been a very, very beneficial thing. There's so much on this slide, I don't want to just blow by it. Businesses that do respond, build more trust, are far more likely to win new customers. Kind of just restated that. 57% of consumers are unlikely to use a business that ignores reviews. So what can you do now? So again, a repeating theme here. Go in and look at your reviews. Go in and respond to every single customer. Even if they're a couple of years old, get the algorithm to, especially Google, see that you're responding to all of your reviews. Audit your review platforms. There's a few of them, right? If you're on any of them, whether that's Nextdoor or Yelp or, there's a couple other ones out there. Just make sure that you're monitoring your reviews and that you're hitting any negative reviews head first. Set up an automated review request system, of course, like AGM. AGM has that as well. And make sure that you're monitoring sentiment. You'll notice things if you're getting bad reviews. You will notice some things. We have a number of crews, so we can kind of notice issues with specific crews. So you're able to monitor these types of things as well. Let's go on to the next slide. And of course, AGM does all this for you. You can harvest reviews and automate engagement. I just realized I didn't put a screenshot of our own review process inside of AGM. But Andrew, what was it like before AGM automated reviews for Heavenly Greens? Because you were the guy that had to respond to them.
Yeah. So like when you got it doesn't matter what size company or how many reviews you're getting, going and replying to reviews, even if they're all 5-star, still becomes a chore, right? And it's those things that just become this almost, I got to go and do that. The first thing to go off your radar when it gets busy. But as you've heard from Troy, and I think we're trying to reiterate, is replying to reviews and building your reputation is one of the best free ways that you can get increased presence online, because Google, other search engines, and now the large language models, AI like ChatGPT, etc., are putting so much emphasis on this. So you're doing yourself a massive disservice if you're not doing it. And if you're saying you're just too busy to do it, then use a system. Even if it's not AGM, find some way to do it. Obviously, this is just a small piece of what AGM does, but it makes it amazing. And you don't have to have that reply to everything. Like I think we've got Heavenly Greens, we've set it to 4 and 5 stars. It replies automatically. Anything under that, which aren't a lot, thankfully, we get notification and we go and manually review it and make sure we address it accordingly. But yeah, it's a pain in the butt to do, and that was my job, was with the marketing stuff. And I'm not running the entire business. It's still one of those things that becomes low priority, but it's so critical, and we all forget that.
Yeah, sometimes. The other thing is we got a 1-star review last week. Reached out to the customer, made the corrections. Guess what? They went in and changed the review. So
people just want to be heard. We're all like that. It's human nature. And sometimes that's just a cry for, I don't know how else to vent my frustration. And if you're able, seriously,
Well,
like how many
if
times have
you're
we
ignoring
all
them for sure.
panic
Yeah.
reviewed, right? Yeah, you've gone and done that. But if you get the situation corrected, vast majority of the time, people go back and go, "Oh, I feel bad about that," so they fix it, or they change it, not fix it.
But truth be told,
No,
we all know about the unreasonable, irrational, crazy
of course,
customers. We all know
yeah,
about that.
absolutely.
All right, let's get on to number 3, streamlining marketing costs. Here is a real scenario. Well, first of all, perform an audit on your business. Go in and take a look at what your monthly credit card charges are and what you're getting charged for. If you've got marketing subscriptions like we did, where they were redundant or we didn't need them anymore, we went in and made some changes. And then obviously Heavenly Greens is running on is running on AGM. And just take a look what we were able to do with Heavenly Greens. After our audit, we were able to cut our costs on our chatbot. We had Jivo Chat for that, or Jivo, or whatever, however you correctly say that. Invoca was a enterprise level call tracking system. We were able to get rid of that. HubSpot, great platform for marketing automation, but we were able to get rid of that. And we still have a couple of tools still in place. But when you look at these other tools that were costing us, like Broadly and Boast, we were able to eliminate almost $33,000 a year. Now, that sounds like an awful lot of money, but you have to understand that Heavenly Greens runs a business that does tens of millions a year, so the costs are sort of in alignment with the volume that we do. So that's a big number, though. That's a lot of savings, and just by running an audit, you can look at your cost cutting and then move it over to a more streamlined system. So that's kind of the. Go ahead.
And sorry, just jump on that. And obviously, you and I are pretty geeky. We love this kind of stuff, and that benefits Heavenly Greens because obviously we kind of are in this world all day long. But those of you guys watching this that are just trying to run your business and trying to get all this to work together, you got to remember each one of those systems that you have or tools or whatever, 9 times out of 10, they will not automatically talk to each other either. So you're having to either manually set up,
hold on,
take data from one to the other
point
to make your reviews work and all that kind of thing. And all those systems, they talk to each other, but we had to force it to talk to each other through multiple different things, or it's enterprise level. So it has that, but you're paying for that at a much higher rate than what you need. But the great thing about AGM is it's all there in one login. So you're not having to force when you've got a sale or the job's finished, it now triggers, you have to go and work out another platform to do your reviews in. Everything's there, everything's in one place. And as long as you use the system how it's designed or set things, it'll do what it's supposed to do all in one place.
Yeah, and Andrew's talking about Zapier and some of these other API tools that really are conduits to make multiple platforms talk and speak, and sometimes they break, and the automations you have in place don't work any longer. This is just a slide that I probably spoke to early, but me just talking through, take a look at your costs and look at the value proposition associated with what they do versus what they cost, and see if you can consolidate things into one platform like AGM. Okay, so the new marketing game. This is kind of geeky and a little bit breaking the rules when you talk about putting stuff on a slide. But what I want you to do, or what I hope you do, is pause this video and read all of this, because this is the new game we're in. You have got to create your website and your blog content in a way that these large language models pick them up and read them. And the technical term for this is schema. And there's a lot of other things that go into this, which is why I put everything on this slide. But the way that these language models work is you have to create your brand story, create your buyer's journey story, create your content, and create everything around making sure these LLMs can read your website. That's where we're at today. It's getting more and more technical. But the good news, bad news in all of this is, the bad news is you've got to make some changes. the good news is not everybody's going to do it, and you're going to be able to stand out in a very competitive space with the changes because your business is going to be seen. Your business is going to have a voice because you made these fundamental changes.
Okay, so Troy, you may as well put Swahili on this screen for probably most of the people watching this. What does this mean for them? Like, how are they going to do this? Like, like, if I was a business owner out there watching this,
Yeah.
I would be confused. So, is there a way to simply do this?
Yeah, and that's a good question. And even though that sounded planned, Andrew was leading the witness because I tend to be a very much of a geeky dude. So thank you, Andrew. Yeah, for those of you that want to actually do this on your own and learn about this, and I highly recommend you do as a business owner, I've had to understand what we're doing, not only with our clients, but also with the framework in which our partnerships work. But this is how you can go learn about this. First of all, there is a number of free tools out there. I put a couple on here. Pause the video, go check out these platforms, put your content in there. It's going to analyze it for you. And then also, there's a great post by this great name. I love this, Self-Made Millennials / AI SEO tools, where she went on a massive deep dive on all kinds of tools to help you better understand where your content stands as it relates to AEO and automated engine, or no, it's audio engine optimization, because people are now using their cell phone to speak into the search engines. Lots here, lots to unpack, but these are a couple of quick ways to do that. Also, the link isn't there, but at the bottom of this, we have a way to run a test on your site as well. I didn't put that on here, but if you
in the description.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. In the description, we'll have a free audit tool that you can sign up for, and we'll get you a report. But yeah, this needs to be figured out. You need to actually go head on this part of your business, or you're going to actually suffer as local businesses outperform you because they are making the changes.
But Troy, is there a way to just have someone do it for me? Again.
You mean like this?
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So really, what's kind of cool about this is kind of twofold. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and whenever you're on a business related YouTube video, they're usually telling you, hey, do this and do this and do that and do that. And rarely are they ever doing it themselves. Heavenly Greens, Artificial Turf Express, and our and our AGM subscribers that are part of our SEO program, we've been testing. They don't know this, probably hearing about this for the first time, but they don't know this, but we've actually been making these changes for them as subscribers, and our platform and our partnerships and our integrations are actually doing this now. So we're doing this for Heavenly Greens. We're doing this for Artificial Turf Express. And as I mentioned, our other subscribers, because it has to be done. And AGM does this for you as well. If you're an SEO subscriber, this is what we're going to be doing for you. So we'll handle everything for you. You actually get to approve. We create content on your behalf, and then we go out and we just fix it and take care of everything. You can pause this video if you want to look at the details, but all of this is managed internally and optimized so that you're showing on large language model platforms, which are basically just new search engines. If you think about Bing, you think about different ways that people search, everyone is going to have a different flavor that they like to go to. I like Perplexity over ChatGPT for different reasons, and I like GPT over Perplexity for other reasons. And there is Claude, and there's other ones out there, but you have to be managing your content and making sure that this is done correctly, and that's something we can do for you. It's interesting. It's estimated that nearly 7 in 10 small businesses now use AI search tools to stay competitive and visible online. You have to use software to do this. You can't do it like the old days where you could go in manually and do all the technical portions of SEO. It's got to be done with software now, and it's what we do. Okay, This is just a slide to talk about what is changing. And we're going from this old way to this new way. And this new way, the way that schema markups and the way that these pages are being need to be structured now is a way to future proof your content so that it's always being shown when a given search is being asked for. It's early days in this, but the folks that are making these changes now, as we go into 2026, are going to benefit the most. Okay, here's another radical change that is unfortunate for small businesses because it is so difficult to do, but video is becoming absolutely everything. Customers are no longer reading. Well, then you might say, well, why am I blogging? You're blogging for the LLM results, right? You're blogging for AI overviews. Consumers actually are going in and watching video at an alarming rate. 89% of video marketing businesses use 89% of small businesses are using video marketing now. 75% are watching content on their mobile device. 80% of consumers are using it for brand recognition. And we got into this because we started to notice that we were not playing, Heavenly Greens was not playing heavily in this space and Artificial Turf Express. So we actually had to make some big changes this year in 2025. And I'm glad that we did, because we got to learn a whole bunch of things by posting a lot of content. But here's that fictitious business owner asking the question, with fewer people reading ads and posts, how do I stay visible? There's the data to back it up. It's all about video, and you've got to embrace video this next year and figure out a way to do it. 154 minutes versus articles and podcasts. Now, in the artificial, I guess I got a duplicated slide here. Oh, no, it's not. It's just another element. What's interesting about the artificial turf space is it's hard to do content consistently. You can go out and shoot video and post your content, but it's hard to do it consistently. But you've got to embrace this. Get your phone out and record it and post it. It gets easier as you go through this. Embrace the way people are looking at content. Make sure your ad is getting, make sure you're getting your video content is being posted on all platforms, and try to get a brand logo in there if you can. And what's interesting is less than 30% of all artificial grass companies are posting. I don't have any sources in here, I just realized. But if you go and actually, if you go put how many, just do a GPT search, how many artificial turf companies in the United States are posting social media video content was the question I asked. And that was the result that came back. So it's a great way to stand out in your local market. So what can you do now? This is Heavenly Green's YouTube channel. We lived in shorts last year. That sounds funny. I did wear shorts a lot this year, but we shot a ton, and I mean a ton of content. It was expensive though. We had to pay somebody to come out and film us and produce it. But we consistently posted, we posted every day, I think, for 9 months, which is nuts, right? Costs a fair amount of money. I think it was somewhere around $80,000-$90,000. That was a lot of money, but we're on every single platform with short video and long form video. And we got a lot of data. We got to see what our consumers are interested in. But what you can do now is start posting, share your team, share projects, share tips, and show your before and after photos. Those are real easy images to stitch together. And if you do a quick AI search on easy stitching video software or something like that, where you just upload your clips, it'll stitch it all together and give you a finished product. Find somebody local to shoot it. You could go to Craigslist. You could go to, any sort of Fiverr. Fiverr is a platform. I think I have Fiverr on here, don't I? Or maybe I don't. Fiverr is basically FIVVER.com, where you can find somebody that will post content for you. And then more importantly than going out and finding folks is actually developing a plan. And there's a great link here. Hit pause, go to that website and check out the media template. You're actually able to look at a great little calendar to schedule your planning. The reason I'm camping out on this plan is because we did a shotgun approach to our content. And as a result, we have content that's just all over the map. We doing it over in 2026, we will have a more controlled approach to the amount of content that we produce and how we produce it. Developing this strategy is kind of the key thing. It could be as simple as going to a job. When you go and do a bid, make sure you get it before photo. And then when you come out and you sell the job, during the project, get photos. You can stream those all together, or you can set your iPhone up or a GoPro up. But make sure that you put a plan together so you have a strategy. You can then use AGM's social planner, and built inside that platform is a structured calendar for posting and scheduling content. And you can do it automatically from the field, right from your phone, and it formats automatically for you. It's pretty remarkable. We use it all the time. It allows us to share directly live video where we're standing there at a home. Sometimes it's with a customer, sometimes it isn't. And we use it very, very consistently to post content. Regular posting is difficult, but you have to get into a habit. And once you're into that habit, it starts to be a lot easier. It's just a matter of fact situation. Companies that post regularly stand out to both search engines and local customers. People want to see your work. That's really what it comes down to. Less than 30% of artificial grass installation companies post consistently online.
And I think one of the things, just to touch on the social planner there, is because, one of the questions someone might be thinking about right now is, you want me to go and hire some random person online and get access to my, accounts and stuff. Well, that's a great thing about the social planner is you get them logged into the AGM app, give them very limited access there to maybe just the social planner, and they can post without having to log into your Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram
TikTok,
or whatever it is, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest. It'll go to all those platforms, but they don't need access to them. They've only got access to the AGM app. So it's good. It's also good for control for your assets, because as a business owner, those are your assets as a business. So I know that a lot of people are always skeptical about giving their employees access to some random person they found on Craigslist, right? But all those horror stories. So it doesn't mean don't go and do it. That's more the exception than the rule. But you got to kind of hand that off to someone and get it going.
Yeah, and to your point, Andrew, you don't have to give them your Gmail account, right, to get into YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
There's new admin functions on a lot of these platforms now that just allow a manager access. So that can be their, that original email that they came to you with. You can give them access to your platform with that email. And that would be, for example, for YouTube, that email would be how they access all of the platforms as well as the AGM account. So you really are protecting yourself. In the past, because this is a great point Andrew's making, we had given vendors direct access to like our Gmail, like our Heavenly Greens Gmail account, or our direct access to our YouTube account. And then they changed the password. So not cool. It's a really good point to make sure that is protected. All right. So what you're looking at here, you probably read this while you were ignoring everything I was saying, because that's what I would be doing. The images are just screenshots of the desktop version of the social planner. It's such a great tool because you're able to see all the stats, you're able to do scheduling, and you're able to see what's posted and what hasn't posted. Let's see, what do we got here? Hey, we're coming into like the last few slides, because you can see the little blue links that are hidden behind both Andrew and I, but we have like one or two more slides. In review, these are the things that you really have to get good at coming into 2026. You've got to get an attract, nurture, close system into your business. I think it is a very high percentage of folks that we've spoken with, maybe even 90%. Andrew's probably better to answer this. What percentage of businesses that have come to us that we've worked with that had actually a follow-up system in place? Less than 10%?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's
that was worth anything. Yeah. Like one email from a salesperson is not a follow-up system.
yeah, that's true. And
there was almost nothing automated is
more and more
if not
of the
no
owner operator folks that we've spoken with just this year were running everything off of their mobile device and their Gmail, which is great. But if you're not remembering who to follow up with, and automating things is difficult. Reputation management. You've got to get, whether it's AGM or something else, you've got to get an automated review harvesting tool in place. It's key. And of course, go out and make sure your brand is being protected and you're taking care of your bad reviews. Optimizing. So consolidating tools and operations. If you've got multiple subscriptions that you can get AGM to get rid of because you've got multiple platforms and now you can do everything in one platform, highly suggest you do that. As you saw from many slides prior, AI literally is taking over search. There are some interesting things coming down the pike I can share with you. I just spent a week on, I spent most of last week on a 4-day virtual summit with Neil Patel and a ton of speakers around digital marketing, and things that are headed our way are perplexity and more perplexity than some of these others are looking at ad opportunities that are coming down the pike. So you can kind of imagine a new window with ads. So these tools are just changing monthly. And you have to be in that game to understand what's happening so your content is being optimized for it. And then finally, embracing video. It is tough to do because it's, you got to kind of put yourself out there a little bit, and you also have to get some sort of consistency in place. A tool like AGM with the social scheduler and the social manager and poster is game changing. It has been for us, and we'd highly encourage you to use a platform like that. But these are the 5 things that we think you have to get in shape for going into 2026. And if you're looking for a solution to help you with all of these things, I know this is a random question after we talked about everything, but this is what just a small inkling of what AGM does. There's a ton more that we're going to be sharing with you over the coming weeks as we go into Q4. And we talk about new features that we've developed and set up and are using. I mean, gosh, Andrew, I know we didn't really plan this, but is there anything that you're kind of particularly excited about sharing that you can kind of let out of the bag here?
Oh, geez.
I mean, there's a ton.
I think one of the big things.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy. I think one of the big things is the development within the AGM app itself with either conversational or voice AI, and just how far it's come along, even the last probably 6 months.
Yeah.
But we were trying to look at other systems to see if they were better because the system wasn't where we wanted it. But it's just leapfrogging almost past that. And again, it's about not having multiple places to have all your marketing done. If you can get everything into one system, it just reduces potential issues, because there's a stat out there. Basically, if you have one system, you've got pretty much it's 100%, right? But if you go to 2 systems, it's not 100% anymore. It's probably 95% effective. If you go to 3, it's probably now 87%. And there's this law of diminishing returns. The more pieces you try to have in a puzzle, the harder it is to keep it functioning properly. Unless you want to manage that full time, it's not worth it. So I think that is a big key component. Obviously, just the review thing is just a game changer for any business. It's almost a no-brainer. And the social planner, I think those like 3-4 things is really what would change a business overnight.
Yeah, and I didn't add any of the AI stuff, the AI, conversational AI or voice AI into this deck. I could have, but I didn't. And it's a really good point that you're making. Like Heavenly Greens and Artificial Turf Express, they run completely on AI on the front end. After hours calls, all handled by AI. We cut bills there too as well, consolidating, putting everything into one tool. But I think I just have one final slide here, and it's like, hey, if you're looking for a partner going into next year, we'd love to talk with you. I guess there is the free AI SEO check button, Andrew.
Well, they can't click
Yeah,
a
they
video,
can't,
so
can't click
click
the
the link
video.
below.
That's true. But yeah, we've been doing this for a while. Heavenly Greens and Artificial Turf Express, to give you a little history. Heavenly Greens got started back in 2001. I got involved in the artificial turf industry back in 2006. 2017, negotiations started to buy Heavenly Greens. I founded Artificial Turf Express. That was part of the company as well. Running both of those businesses with a business partner which is Tim Fullerton, and Andrew's been helping us in that and managing AGM. So we know a lot about the artificial turf industry. And if you're open to some conversation, we'd love to chat with you. That's all I have, Andrew. Is there anything else that you want to close us out with?
I think that's it, but definitely subscribe, because we are starting next Friday. What's that? October 3rd. So depending when you're watching this, of course, we're going to start every 2 weeks. We're going to be launching a feature update video. So it'll be live streamed into our YouTube channel and platforms, so that we can go over the last 2 weeks of features that have been added. But initially, we've got a lot. We've got like 8 months, like Trey said, to catch up on. So it's not all going to happen at once, but we're going to really prioritize what people could use, like AI reviews, social planner, that type of stuff, that if you plug into AGM, it's something that will be able to be turned on, and you instantly get those results of not having to reply to reviews anymore, for example.
Yeah. And as I asked that question, there was one other thing that I didn't bring up, but we'll talk about in the future, and that's the jobber integration. I know that you're working directly with the developers on that. We've got subscribers that are actually very interested in the jobber integration. The first phase of the integration is just not going to work for what we want it to do at Heavenly Greens and what we want it to do for our subscribers. So we're kind of pump the brakes a little bit on that. But we should have some more updates in the coming weeks. And as Andrew said, we look forward to continuing to update you every other week on features. Also, you can expect news about the industry. I've gone out there trying to find a source of news for our industry, and I didn't see it. So I just started creating one. It's a weird avatar video. You may or may not have seen it. It's on our channel here. That's going to be going out every week. And then we're also going to be having every other week updates on technology and marketing in the same way. So we're doing what we can to really bring everything to the fore as we talk about 2026. I think 2026 is going to be a great year for a lot of companies that embrace this change and take advantage of what the market opportunity is.
Absolutely. No, we're excited. And I think, there's some key stuff. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag before we do our next video. So, but reach out, because we're ready. Things are ready to go. But keep in touch. We've got a great community we're building too, and that'll all be coming in the next videos. And make sure you subscribe so you get those up.
Yeah, we're done being quiet. We've been quiet long enough. All right. See you guys. Thanks.
Thanks. See ya.